And it's going to go down on a familiar map, one we have cast before, and that's because it's kind of a fun map. It's reasonably open. We're a bit navy heavy because it's Selkie Isle. Say good day to Selkie Isle. So just let me do the usual shuffle that we out with for the forms, and let's go introduction plays. We have on the top, yes, on the top section we have team 1 up here, and we have team 2 down the bottom over there. Alrighty, so for team 1, first up, leading the charge on the island here, it is Megamion. Megamion? Mega. Anyway, that's going to be Mega. He's Seraphim, he's pink, and he is the highest rated player of the day. Of this game, he is the 1400. Anyway, he's on the island, he's opening himself first land, and has got a build queue. Look at that, 3 NGs down the bottom left over here. When it pops up, see a build queue. That's new. That's one of the updates that I've missed. Anyway, showing the build queue of the factory, that's all well and good. Anyway, better carry on though. For team number 2. Team number 1, sorry, second player for team number 1, it is here Nezox. Nezox is Cyber, Nezox is orange, and he has finished his factory, and we can see that's a repeating build queue of an engineer, and is going away for his hydro. Beside Nezox in this place we have Rel Corvin. Rel Corvin is UEF, he is light blue, and we can see he too has got just a straight out engine repeat build queue on his first factory, working on some energy because his hydro is a little bit far away over there, so hey, why not? And that's a second air factory planned up for him. Back here, third member for team number 1, it is Poop Dynamics. Dynamic pooping. Interesting. Anyway, he's going to be Poop, and he is yellow, he is Aeon, and he's getting ready to put up a bunch of pigeons to surround his air factory. That wasn't a bad move actually, because Air Factory 3 mixed in Hydro, you won't stall out on that, and you get the Air Factory down nice and early. And finally, for team number 1, sorry, I should mention Poop is actually also the lowest rated player of the day. He is 900, so highest and lowest on the same team, which is good. The balance is 90%, which is pretty good, and 1180 to 1120 average. Probably couldn't get much better on that front, but anyhow, finally for team number 1, it is Mr. BJ. And old BJ is purple, he's UEF, he has a land factory down already with engineers pumping out, and he has an air factory going up second after with the hydro. But before getting enough power generators, is it actually going to work? Well, yes it is. He's not going to be able to produce much though, because he is losing power. He's going to be living on reclaim, and he's got a first bomber coming out actually, so that first bomber is definitely being supported by reclaim over there, spending energy from his commander. Will it even get out? Just because the bomber's coming, we are going to slow things down before we go introduce team number 2, because you don't want to miss that nice early action on there. And team 2. So team 2 first up for team 2 on the island, and that's their highest rated player of team 2 as well. It is McNeil. And McNeil has got a lot of factory spam planned. Those are 5 factories queued up. He does have units coming out of his first one, some NG support coming out of the second one. And he is got his commander already on the way over here. And he's actually being supported by Norichi. I refuse to believe that's an L, so that's Norichi. Anyway, sorry, I forgot to mention McNeil already with his comm on the way. He's Aeon. And first little bit of action coming up here. We have a flare meeting up with a Selene. That goes badly for the Selene. 2 shots and it would be gone. And there's actually a spirit in the region as well. So they'll take that go up pretty darn quickly. And Megamion is also on his way because of all this reclaim in the middle. A whole bunch of it, 6,000 to grab just there. Anyway, stop getting distracted by things. Team number 2 over here we have, it is Iconix. Sorry, there's 2 N's in that name. Iconix. He can just be Icon. Anyway, he is a Seraphim, and he is getting himself into a brownish color. Beside, we've already introduced Norichi, who is actually Cybran. He's down in the other cover factory. Beside him, it is Mr. Lemaddin. Lemaddin is Aeon. Lemaddin is in white, and he's getting to work on his second air factory. So here's the third one planned over here beside the second hydro. And finally, for team number 2, it's just Front Collar. Front Collar's slapped down an air factory by his hydro, a land factory down here, and he's already starting up on a naval factory as well. So there's quite a bit to go on at the start of this game. He's already made a beeline with his command. You can see exactly where the command has been walking because all the trees have been knocked over and they are all dead. so he can't reclaim those clumps. Alright, but getting really close to the mid here is Mega, and I don't know what he plans to do because he needs an arty to take care of these very hostile NPC turrets. So those civilian turrets are red, so that means they are hostile and they will shoot at you if you get in range, and you might see this one twitch very shortly unless he has that planned. I should think about returning that to normal speed, and maybe he's not going to wander into range. Maybe not quite. Twitching it, hasn't twitched. Alright, so we hear that bomber, and over on the right hand side it has picked up an engineer who was reclaiming what, I don't know. Ah, there's some wrecks on the beach. So the engineer's already grabbed all those wrecks, it has done its work, and the bomber is out. And looks like it is making a beeline over this way. It has picked up that engineer thanks to a scout perhaps? Unsure, but bombs are going away and it's going to start working on the mass extractor. Engineer now has to get a move on, get a wriggle on in any direction aside from loitering still, because this bomber is going to grab himself some extra damage. Going to take one more pass to kill that extractor. Needs 3 to get the job done, but 3 it will do. Doesn't want to stray too close over here thanks to anti-air turret. Would be quite useful to pop out. There we go. Mobile anti-air will help take care of that bomber. Bonk it up here and it'll help defend these mixes from that guy flying overhead. But the middle, really a little bit going on. We have a Tham which is downed by flares. That's interesting. Bombers having a grand look over here. Now getting to work on the second one. Along comes anti-air though, so that's going to limit the bomber's effectiveness. And speaking of bombers, we have another one coming out from Rel Corbin, but I don't think it's going to get much time. There are a couple of defending entities from... Well, besides what, that's his commander doing the reclaiming, not an engineer, so no dice on their front. Alright, bomber didn't finish off the mass extractor, has relocated targets just in time because Inti has come over for looking for some kind of burden there. Right, and indeed, Mega did wander in range of the plasma cannons and he's taking that extra damage, but now he's got some Zoes helping him out to finish that off. T2 upgrade on the way from McNeil being assisted by Naruchi, and that could be quite handy indeed. The bomber has died somewhere, I missed it. Was looking for new targets, but there were no new targets to be had defending interceptors, anti-air and all sorts in the region. So Mega has finished off the PD and now he has an opportunity to get the rest of the reclaim by just chucking in some engines. Radar going up and T2 is almost done. Or McNeil. That could be a problem. Got some more reclaim here went to grabbed, and in fact these Iconics is coming over with an engine to do exactly that. Alright, there we go, the reclaim has started. Mega is sloping into his coppers by a huge amount. Wanders into range of that T1 PD once again, as has Naruchi, who thinks, yeah, maybe that was a bad idea, and promptly falls on back. Okay, point defense, T2 Oblivion. That's possibly going to help control this area because it's going to have a nice little range to it. Around that much in fact, and it can start not only knocking out the T1 PD, but anything that decides to wander on closer, such as a damaged commando. Let's have a quick zoom out, try and catch the rest of the action. Well, not much is going on. Got some air floating around there from Rel Corbin. A little bit of a fight over on the left hand side, but it's really going to be interesting in the middle though, is Mega standing still, taking Oblivion fire. He's getting a lot of the reclaim though, but he is absolutely wanting to be careful. Those are 2 commanders facing against this one, including an Oblivion turret they can fall back towards. Right, McNeil and Naruchi are moving on in, and well, Mega is in desperate trouble here. He's down probably about half health at the moment, and he does get away though, and McNeil probably wants to consider dropping back, stepping down another point defense, throw down a T1 just to take care of the small fry, then a T2 behind it. Hearing some more bomber action, and there we go, that is Rel Corbin doing some work with some T1 bombers, just killing off the mass extractors, making life a bit difficult for Iconics. And speaking of difficult for Iconics, he has got a factory down. Got a couple of anti-air, so I guess the bombers have made a presence felt there. That looks like a dead NG. There is a Thunderhead frigate coming in, but there is a sub that is going to cause problems for him, but not for the frigate. He can get a lot of work done because it could come around here and it could just kill off NGs. Has a giant tank health ball, and over here we see that is McNeil pushing by himself. Maybe not advisable when there's that much going on, and that's a gun upgrade going down for Mega. So if they knew he was doing a gun upgrade, I can guarantee you we would see a T2PD being slapped down right there to start shooting at him. They don't want to tangle with the gun upgraded comm, especially when he's got support coming in. And where's the support from McNeil? He's got a bunch of units back here, but not doing much. Okay, left hand side, let's see what's going on. And there was, what's that? Was that a drop team from front collar? That was. So front collar tried to drop down some NGs and start building a land factory. It could have been nasty for all this, but unfortunately was caught out by a renegade gunship. So that's T2 air for Nezox. Yes it is. So he quickly spammed out a gunship to take care of those, and that prevents the factory going up. Very handy, very ideal, especially as he has his factories right up against the edge here. They would have all been in terrible, terrible danger. Okay, gun upgrade is just about done for Mega, and you can't see that stopping. Not when he has all the support around him and plenty of health to take whatever goes out, but there's going to be a problem. Once that finishes, going to be, you need to bring your units in. McNeil, you need to bring your units in because that is a gun upgraded comm, and you two are going to be having some problems. Still, McNeil has to be cautious himself because while he might outrange these guys, if he gets caught by them, he'll have issues. So McNeil now needs to drop back. He is taking a lot of damage from the units and from Mega. Drops out of range for the moment and can now think about maybe popping down a point of defense, moving back in. But Mega with overcharge as well, and now getting in range of both these guys. That's what they want. They want to try and get them both in, keep both of them in range to keep his health down. But they can make him just be a wee bit more cautious, and it is a 2v1, and now the units come in from McNeil. They desperately need the units to come in and help out. Perhaps they're looking to thin out the units surrounding Mega just so they can thin them out and start causing extra damage. Here we go. That is not a bad play. Of course, Thams are much stronger than Auroras, but now Mega is having the problems. Although Narichi's down into the red, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a mutual. Narichi dies, Mega dies. It's all going up here. Down goes Mega, down goes Narichi. And that is a mutual kill by these guys. Mega does kill him off, and he had T2 coming as well. So I feel like maybe he kind of overextended with that. McNeil is down to 3,000 himself, so he needs to be careful for a reactionary attack, which is, oh hello, a strat. So a shocker out from the mat, and that is very, very fast T3, 10-minute mark, and it is about to cause some serious mayhem. It could even kill off Poop, I reckon. Instead, it's just going for eco, not even worrying about that, just going for eco. T1 inties trying to catch up to it, they never will if it's played right. And there goes the T1 bombers onto McNeil, who is now struggling, so trying to keep an eye on both of these. Strap on with 8 kills. Look, you can see his flight path, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going there, McNeil is doing the shuffle, circling around, trying to dodge the T1 bombers, but these are napalm orientated. Bit of a bad time trying to avoid all of that. 1300 health, Strat Bomber continues on, gets another mass extractor, he's doing well for herself. Some ASF for now overhead helping McNeil out, so he should be okay. Should be okay. 1500 health and snapping down a T2 shield gen. A couple more bombers coming over, but they'll be too late. That shocker now has 14 kills. All eco. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be a 7th? Yes, there is. Maybe an 8th, depending on its bomb cycle. I don't think it's going to get off in time. Maybe on this one? No, it does. It's a mass extractor and the NGs, and this bomber is having a field day. 23 kills, 8.9k, so just under 9k mass destroyed. But more than that, it's the time as well for the rebuild. Swings a little too close to the interceptors, but they're fine. And I do wonder if you could have dropped the bomb in the middle and killed both of those at once. That's the question I have. Wonder if it will work, but there we go. Regenerating 35 kills, 11,000 mass damage. There goes another bomb. There's another mix. And surroundings kills off a couple of NGs, but you know. Question is, what do they have in response? The answer is nothing. I don't see even any swift ones in the air. There should be some coming out of here, and why? Honestly, I should be prioritizing getting a couple of swift ones out of here just to kill them off. Because what's the bomb going on? Another T2 mix. Could have grabbed the power. Is am I air? The answer is yeah, buddy, you were air. All this eco is getting absolutely obliterated by this one. 15,000 damage and more. I still think that if the bomb dropped in the middle, might be able to pick up two of them potentially. If it just carries on, and we're going to see another bomb come out over here. That is a hero shocker. So this turn might give a chance. There's a swift one as well, so today's unlimited. Now swift one is tagging on his tail, and it's going to a limited survival time. Maybe get another bomb off. Just one more. Just one more. 17,000k. 18.8 thousand mass killed with 58. That is incredibly painful. So much destroyed by just that one shocker, simply because this guy didn't realize he's supposed to be on there. He is now going T3, and he's going to need to do that nice and quickly and catch up, because his opponent is well ahead as it goes. This island is 100% belonging to McNeil, so he can now branch out into Navy, which he kind of needs to do, because Iconics was 2v1 in the Navy, because of course Poop went into Navy instead of Air, which has actually helped. Excuse me, just needing a drink. My throat is a wee bit rusty, have not casted in a while. But the Navy is here and is causing issues that I don't know why the destroyers are running away from subs. They can take those on nice and easy. Very powerful depth charges those things have, and they can just bomb them. Poop said fuck the air. Yeah, pretty much. I don't even know if he realized he was supposed to be air, or if he just thought, fuck it, I'm going to go Navy. But it has turned out to be a horrible choice due to the amount of damage they lost. I mean, you think about the, what's that, just 1, 2, probably about 10 T2 mixes. That was the eco difference. Losing all those, having to rebuild them, awful times. Right, Blaze trying to do its thing, but Blaze is not that good by itself. Okay in hordes, but still problematic. So, looking like a strong Navy on the right side though, thanks to extra units from Poop. He has paused a bunch of naval factories, keeping up the T2 anyway, because hey, might as well, and still working on their T3 upgrade, which I think he needs to kind of focus on, though he needs to focus on regaining his eco as well. Left hand side is going about as well for Team 2 as the right hand side is going for Team 1. These guys have come through, and some T1 bombers out just to kill off a bunch of build power, because hey, why not? They're there, they can. And now they're focusing down on these guys, but they can just dodge pretty easily. They're hover, they can twist and turn all they want. They'll be fine. Right. Got the left hand side, and I take it back. This is actually a wee bit of a pushback from Nezox, and he's getting support now from Relcorvin as well. So if they can focus down that destroyer, it's going to leave the rest of these guys pretty open up for some submarine action, because the only other sub item is the Mermaid, which has no attack capabilities, just defensive. That destroyer goes, that's all there. Got some subs and reinforcements coming, they'll be right. ACFs turn up to take care of those T1 bombers, why not, because they can. And we see here T2 Navy sitting still, getting rushed by frigates and T2 subs. Not going to go down so well, and also a destroyer over there, so I think these guys are going to have some problems. Just a wee bit too much to take care of, and promptly they do fall back. Bruises are coming. And you know what UEF cruisers do? They say fuck you to HQs. Is that what they're going for, or are they going for the T2NG first? They are indeed. That is what could have built some TMD. Alas, no T2NG, no TMD. But wandering into range of a destroyer with your cruiser, not a grand idea. I want to stay the heck away from that. T3 torpedo bomber, so Lamadin is not staying idle. He's helping out the Navy. He recognizes that this is a bit of a situation, throws out a couple of solaces. They will definitely help make a bit of difference. But speaking of air, T2 torpedo bomber coming in from Poop. So Poop is definitely helping out there as well, just wanting to help thin out numbers, but ASF promptly turned that into scrap. We'll get you a reclaim. Speaking of reclaim, house, things looking well. A couple of destroyer kills there, so good amount to be had. Surprised this is all still here. All it would have taken was a few inches just to skirt around and scoop it up, which is exactly what Ralph Corbin's doing. He's grabbed, how many is that? 5, 15 or so NGs. They're popping up. Going to throw down some defense from things like that lot. And then you're going to go for the reclaim. You can see Lamadin's doing the same thing, throwing some NGs up that way, wanting to grab as much as possible. Okie dokie. Let's go a wee bit quiet. Up the top here, this has been a fairly static line, though this is a nice bundle of reclaim just waiting for somebody to grab. There's a 3,500. That's a T3 mix upgrades worth of reclaim just waiting there. But now there's T2 Navy on the left. Or on the right, there's cruises. Okay, sirens I can forgive pushing in a wee bit. They have good range, and but they are direct fire rather than attack missiles. They're a wee bit more frontline than the traditional cruisers of the UEF or Seraphim. Okay, now what do we got? We have a dead mermaid. That's what we got. That thing is obliterated. That thing is sunk. And now, without the mermaid, they can see it all. Which leaves a single Salem in a poor spot. Good, a little bit of micro dodging there. Avoids all 3 blasts from the Exodus cruisers. Sorry, destroyers, and has a grand old time. Does it again. So the downside to the Exodus class destroyers, yes, they do a lot of damage. Yes, they have good range, but they have such a slow muzzle velocity. It just takes a wee bit of micro, even just timed micro, and they will miss a lot. But the HQ is now under attack missile fire. Gonna need to get some shields right over this way, or maybe a cruiser out for some TMD, as long as those things stay in range. And hello, another solace out, and these torpedoes are in the water. Let's just see what they do to a cruiser. This was a single solace flying over, and kills it. That is brutal. Shields are very important. Very important. They could have finished off the HQ, I think. I reckon if you keep these cruisers for just a little bit, perhaps could have put some pressure on the HQ and force back. But speaking of being forced back, on the left hand side, this is Nezox pushing up the coast with his navy, shooting the ground because, you know, fuck the ground. Nobody likes the ground. Fuck the ground. But the push is real and the shields are real. Navy is really getting hammered. But up this way we can see those blazers have come back, but they've wandered into range of the single T1 PD. Not the best place to be. All they need to do is move a little bit this way, and they will survive and kill all the NGs, which is what they wanted to happen, but no. Very unfortunate to stay sitting still. Bit of friendly fire there. Kill your own engineer, because why not? Do it again. Do it again. Another missile? No. Almost. Almost killed his own. Right. Over on the right hand side, big fracas booting up. We have all the hull that has been handed over. So Iconix is now in command of absolutely everything. And he's doing a good push. There's really not much strength in the Navy or BJ or Poop. There's 2 destroyers back here. There's no destroyers in the mix here. We do have a Cooper, which is dead, and another Cooper, which is probably going to die, and another Cooper. So a bunch of Coopers, and Coopers do poorly against destroyers because they are quite weak. And they're fantastic against submarines, and you really want to use them if they get to T3 Navy Seraphim, which looks like there's no upgrade going on at the moment. But yeah, in a T2 phase. Just stick with destroyers. Cubers die horribly. They're just simply outranged by enemy destroyers and get brutalized. That is a lot of torp bombers. So front column sending these in, and will they kill off anything? I think the first focus should be the shield boat. Kill that, and well, not even going to manage to kill that. Then they fly over a bunch of cruisers, and that's a terrible, terrible time for these guys. So many cruisers, and these torpedo bombers are just wiped out of the sky. Look at that. Couldn't even knock down the shield of a single bulwark. And yeah, so that was just a throwaway mess, really. But in come the backup in the form of Solace torpedo bombers, and they're going to have a grand old time. Watch them lob their torpedoes, maybe? If they decide to sit still, which they do, but their torpedoes will absolutely clean the floors with everything. Just look at the health evaporate off the destroyers. They swing on in, and again they are T3 torpedo bombers, so about what we expect them to be quite brutal. Okay, on the right hand side, Iconics has managed to push back with his navy. He has gone that handsome hover. Those blazes he was gifted are moving on up, and they could start doing some damage over here as well. Not a good time for them. Alrighty. The whole middle section, well, that's a lot of units from McNeil. They could do not worse than just pushing up and wiping that out. There's only engineers, really. Just some engineers, but it's going to have to take care of a couple of T1 PD. But still, easy wipe. There's enough T2 units there, because these don't even have walls around them. They'll die pretty damn quick. Okay, left hand side though, how's your push? Your push is pretty good. Bunch of frigates. There is a single destroyer back here having a go at things. Doesn't want to get too close. Has been focused down by this destroyer and a cruiser. So not having a grand old time. We have some more torpedo bombers coming on in, and now the support comes in from Ralph Corbin. Maybe needed to be slightly better coordinated, but is what it is, and they're going on. Plenty of extra build assistance on that single naval HQ. And you can see it's a 3 destroyer, 1 mermaid, 1 cruiser mix coming out of there. And it's just a news bill queue. I like that. That's kind of neat. You hover over it, you can see what the bill queue is. I swear that's a new feature. Hello, we do have T2 out from here, and that is actually T3. So T3 upgrade for Seraphim Navy on the way for Iconics. That is going to be T3 sub hunters, and that is going to be a problem because we still have T2 here, and there is a T3 shift planned though. You can see about 8 units deep. We've got 5 destroyers, few units, then T3 Navy. Going to want to reconsider that. And the Blazers have decided to sit still. Killed off a couple of mass extractors, and these guys are still going. 1, 2, 3 mass extractors down there. Could be a third one about to go. Look at them clumped all up though. Nice big handy group for these tier 1 bombers to obliterate in a heartbeat. Not a grand old time for them. Okay, what do we have? We have front color keeping his commander safe at the back, so maybe he's worried about navy, maybe he's worried about a snipe, or whatever he's worried about. He is less worried about us sitting back there, as he should be. Not gonna lie, says BJ, that hurt. Talking about that, I'd say that hurt. And you add to that the that bomber, that very first bomber that came through and killed everything. Had a great time with it, and been a bit of retaliation though. There's a couple of dead mass extractors there, not so many. Anyway, left hand side is developing into a bit of a stalemate. Got a large force there, smaller force over there ready to go. Iconic sending some mass to the Madden. So maybe the Madden City needed mass, and with these dead factories. Was there a drop? I suspect there was a drop because I see that there, and there's a lot of dead stuff around there. Whether it was a drop Control K, I do not know. Maybe Control K. I've got some entities coming back there, might be picking all that up for funsies. Alright, large T2 squad of Navy sitting here waiting for this. Of course, we do have the mermaids sitting in the middle of it, so can they even see them? Well, no, they can't, which is a shame. As if they could start throwing attack missiles at them. So something to do with, if you're versing a Cybran opponent in Navy, you're going to want scouts. You're going to want constant scouts, so you'll see things like this. At the moment, Connox knows they're all there. You have a look the other way, and they've got no clue there's a massive force there. They see a few blips here outside of the mermaid range, but they've got no idea of what's sitting there, and if they knew, these cruisers would be having a field day. They could just be lobbing their shells over, sorry, their attack missiles over, and killing off base with that. Oh, that would be delicious bomb. The engines all clumped together. That's where you want to go. You want to go kill them. I think he's focusing on the mass extractor. A poor choice, especially with all of these. Look at that. Asking for a bomb. Where is he going for? He's going for the radar. Okay, radar's down, but at what cost? Don't think that was worth it. Alright, Hobbit in the mid, and they could have pushed and caused an issue. They have forced Rail Corbin to drag his navy back to deal with it. He cannot afford to let that sneak on through Vars. This has left the left side a wee bit weak. There's a sonar platform caught well out of position. That's going to go down. See you later, sonar. There we go. And now the fight is on. Quite a bit of T1, a fair amount of submarines as well, but destroyers say g'day to subs. And oh dear. Corvin way out of position over here. And he's actually got T3 upgrade on his HQ as well, so that's 80% done. He's moving into T3 Navy. That T3 is well done down here. And is that the first T3 sub coming out? No, he's already got a couple. These guys are going to be quite lethal. The cover of stealth, they have a good amount of range, and they can do dastardly things to the side of there. It's Navy, sorry. Army, Navy. It's all the same, isn't it? Sure it is. Alright, a bunch of ground units. I guess concerned about another land incursion, but really doesn't need to be so. It seems like Poop is trying to get into every single game except the one he needs to be in, which is air. And he's got his air on random patrols around the place as well, not grouped in a clump like this. So you see the man is keeping his ASFs all grouped together. This means they are much more effective when it comes into a fight. And here we go. There's nice extra long range of these guys, and those torpedoes are going to be a big issue for this Navy. A third sub hunter coming out, and what can you do? Well, what you can do is you can do some kind of scouting. You know, look at what you're facing. There's going to be a problem on the right. On the left hand side, do we have a problem? Maybe. There's 2v1 of the Navy. If Rail Corbin can get supported by Nezox needs to push up further. He needs to get into this battle right now. He needs to get these guys rushing right on up to assist. Doesn't mean he's down here from Rail Corbin. They want to start reclaiming immediately to pick up this nice 10,000 mass field. It's waiting. Alright, so Nezox does get in the battle. Here comes navies. It is 2 versus 1. They're going to have a massive fight against all of this. Not that much navy left to counter all of this. There is a huge amount of hover coming over. That's going to be a big assistance, but this is still the main problem. Where are they? There they are. Sub hunters. And that's in Atlantis. I don't know that in Atlantis is the right plan at this stage. By the time it gets it done, it may be too late. It's going to depend on what are they shooting at. Oh, they're shooting the ground because, you know, fuck the ground. Just flash. Nobody cares about the water. The water can die. The water can get shot. Do they think something's under the water? I don't know. Anyhow, here comes the Navy. So Iconix is moving with his Navy, and he's got all the frigates into the mix and messing things up. He has these sub hunters lurking back here with the destroyers. They're going to knock things out of range whilst all this Navy is focusing on the small fry. All the damage is being dealt from back there. Check out the left hand side, and that's a hold and a pushback. Possibly owing to all these hover as well. And Solace over here, they're just taking the toll on everything they drop their torpedoes on. There are some ASFs in the area from Poop, but they distracted over this way for some reason. Perhaps it was a bit of an air fight. Either way, that is not going so well. And now, with this Navy moving up, they can start bombarding the eco of BJ and the of targets to be had. Are they within range of some kind of... Nope, they're not. Get your scouts going. If you can't see, start building your own scouts. Just get like a single tier 1 air factory and just constantly have scouts coming out of it. Have them fly over the section of the water and you cannot be snuck up on again. Which is exactly what's happened to BJ. He's got no idea how much he's about to walk into. Now he does. You'll be thinking, oh, maybe not. He finished Omni, he finished Omni. Let's see everything outside of this range. He has no idea. There's all this in here as well. So keep scouting. Just keep scouting. A small T1 bomber ring, and questions, what are they going to go for? Maybe this T2 mass extractor. Maybe they're just spreading out, killing off some NGs perhaps. Don't go those NGs. Don't go those NGs. But hello goes all this T1 AA, and these bombers don't get another run. I never expected so. Now it's looking like this push on the left has also been rejected, but that's a battle cruiser. It's gonna start causing some mayhem, so the T3 move from Rail Corbin is going to be quite key. And just see what happens when he can actually see. Here we go, get a scout overhead, has a look, and the battle cruiser goes, yeah, I can sort all that. Sonar, radar would be absolutely great right now. Let the battle cruiser do its job of ranged obliteration of all this T2. It would absolutely carve through these poor blaze tanks quite easily. Second battle cruiser turn up, so Royal Corbin is looking pretty handy on the left. Fairly solid, and that's mostly... Actually, there's not a lot there. Look away the hob, there's only a handful of T2 units, 1, 2, 3, 4 destroyers, and a couple of cruisers to face off against all of this, and then a horde of blazes which are very short ranged, so they will get much outrange for everything. Destroyer accidentally wanders into well, obliteration range. Call it what it is. Battle cruisers are just going to smash all of this. And as the hover pushes up, the frigates can now start shunting on in. They can help deal some extra damage to clear things out. And this is not looking good on the left, but the same can be said on the right. Not looking good over here either. That Navy is welcome to push up. There's a whole horde of sub-hunters under there, and if they've spotted this, I can only imagine there's going to be a huge push to take them out. Air comes over, a bunch of torpedo bombers do manage to whale off the payload, and that's actually a battleship from Nezok, so he's not been idle either. He's in the T3 Navy, and this T3 Navy has been completed for front collar, and his first battleship, is it? I think that will be his first battleship. No, he did have one over here. Ah, nope, that is from his teammate, so that's a bit of a sharing there from McNeil just to help out, and he desperately needs it. Those battle cruisers, they need to be stopped, and battleships are pretty good at exactly that. They're pretty good at stopping those. So hey, harder duty. But this is, oh shit, that is BJ's comm in the water. Considering the number of sub-hunters and the number of destroyers, that's an incredibly dangerous position to be standing in. And I mean really. Like, the kind of position he should have evacuated from about 2 minutes ago. Nah, he says. So he's been pinged, been warned he should evacuate, and he just says nah. But lose the beach, he just over anyways. Yeah, but if you fall back to here, if you pull back, you'll be out of range of the Navy. You'll still have eco, you'll still be able to build. You could maybe switch into air. You could finish off your eco a bit more. Standing right there is pretty much a death sentence. You're not finishing that Atlantis. It is gonna die. Not doing so badly over on the left, but now with 2 battleships around, there are 3 battlecruisers, which if they move up and move into range, they can do some extra damage. But they need these 2 guys to come in and support. They need a bit more coordination on the left. All those units moving at once. Combined Navy can help out. And got some ASFs here. They're having to go at some of these Solaces, just a few. Run on through to take out the torpedo bombers. So you can see the Madden has been helping out in the Navy. And BJ realizes he's about to die, I think. Yes, he does. He's well into the red, handing all his mess over to everybody else. Twisting and turning, but it's not going to be enough. He is a dead man. So much firepower coming in from the Navy on the beach. Let's have a look at that. Honestly, if he wanted to survive, he needed to move like a couple of minutes ago. He could have. He could have moved off. He could have built some power up here quickly. Could have stayed in the air game and spammed out torpedo bombers to try and help get rid of these, because those are a big problem right now. Those are probably their biggest problem, and everything around here has been carved up. This Navy is free to move on through, and Robert Corbin expecting it. He's got a battlecruiser. He's got some shields. He's got another battlecruiser. So the left hand side has done well though. Navy has gotten all the way up, and this is now a T3 HQ under threat. Get your frigates into here and let them have a murder party on all the build power. There are 3 battleships down here trying to do their thing, trying to run away. The 2 battleships here from Nezox need to get in on this action. They need to get right in on here, and you can see cruise missiles. So attack missiles coming in from cruisers, and that is the end of this HQ. So that is front collar out of the Navy in a big way, and there's still a sizable force ready to go. You can see that is an SACU, so the Madden's trying to get into the Navy game as well. If we can get some spam going at him, may be able to help. So right now this is a loss on both sides. Both beaches are gone. This one here and this one here. Now it's up to what is left. And really the question is, what is left? What can be done against this number of sub-hunters? Battlecruiser is going to give it us all. The shield boats are going to try and survive. Some T1 torpedo launchers also climbing on out, and he's actually dropping back. So okay, no, he's just dropping out of range, so he can kill those at his leisure. But realistically, we're going to want to see T2s. Well, there we go. I was about to say T2 torpedo spam coming out of this, and that will be a huge help to kill off these things. Let the battlecruisers deal with the rest, and let the T2 torpedo bombers deal with these. They're going to get one pass perhaps, because that is a lot of flak backing these up, and that's a pretty good composition. You've got these guys up front, you've got some destroyers snap behind, you've got the frigates pushing on directly in just to be annoying and just soak up damage as targets. And what is this? This is put onto the land middle island as well, so he's trying to fight with T1 to kill off an established T2 bulkhead here. Don't think it's going to go down so well, but we're looking down this way. Well, I don't see any of the Neptunes anymore. Oh, there they are. They're just chilling, not doing much. Royal Corvin is not happy with this game. Trying to do his best, and he's doing pretty good for himself, but he's being pushed. His focus is definitely going to be up here. And the air player with 1, 2, 3 air factories compared to this air player with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8? 8 air factories by the look of it. So, yeah. And he's splitting his eco between the ground, the air, And this is just incredibly bad for Relkorven. He has spent up a bunch of T1 torpedo launches, but they're not going to get much done, unfortunately. And this HQ, the health is just going to melt off of that. Just too much here in the water for it to be able to survive very long. Could have maybe ground fires, although some storks do come out, they get away a run of torpedoes, kill off a couple of the subs, but nothing doing. Down go the torpedo launchers, and the HQ will be very soon to follow. That is Relkorven out of the Navy. And Iconics. Oh, hello! Teleport in from Nezox. Nasty, naughty. Heli, Cyber Commander completely missed that. And that is actually a huge help. Just a little bit too late, unfortunately, but now that was the Navy. And he's on another teleport. Yes, he is. The question is, will he go for... This is two commanders. This is two commanders right here, and he is trying to teleport right onto them. And front color's the only one building. A T1 PD going very slowly. The Madden, okay, he's got shield, and he's got much more build power. What is going to happen here? There we go. Nezox has joined in the party. We're going to say goodbye to front collar. And here's the question. Will he kill the Madden in time? Is gonna be close. Shield's about to drop. Down it goes, but the health is dissipating from Nezox. Not quite. 1600 health left on the Madden, but that has evened up so much of the game. This was a supreme kill. Iconics was all up in everybody's face with this Navy. He was about to clean sweep that out. Now, Nezox traded his comm for 2. Without full share, this has evened up a heck of a lot. And left all this Navy, the current power in the waters, although there are a few battleships back here, to be concerned about. This land is getting basically nothing done. It's pushed on up and it has managed to finally take out these forces just by sheer numbers alone. The question is, how much damage can be done down here? The answer is probably not much. You have McNeil, who's a double shielded bomber. He's got an SMD, worried about a nuke, but I think a nuke is the last thing on anybody's mind right now for his opponents. I suppose it's better to have a nuke defense and not need it than to not need it and have one while a nuke is storming down your face. Definitely don't want to be without when it's required. Okay. Cleanup has completed. And I'll tell you what though. It's Donut. Wow. So that should be scouted by Relkorven. He's got scouts flying over. He's going to see it. He's going to know it's there. Question is, what is he going to do about it? Scouts flying on over, but flying over flak, which is going to be brutal. Can lose a bunch of those. Of course, around the scouts, so it's not so much. This is a massive amount of ASF though. The Madden has just continued on building and building and building. And as of now, he has 150 plus another 30 out of fuel. Give that to Poop, who has a measly 11. So, yep. That is a massive problem. And you can see why the Tsar has been decided on, because it has all the air support and it can do a lot of damage. Back here and going straight back for T3 is Relkorven, and you might as well. He's got the eco for it and he has the resources. Just have a look. I've been trying to ignore the 6,000 or so sitting over there. That is 50,000 reclaim sitting on his doorstep he could use for anything he wants. Just get a factory, or even all these factories, and just say engineers down here and reclaim. I think power is this problem though. Not mass, I think it's power. But honestly, they are now got problems in the form of air. Desperately behind in the air game. Navy is, well, those are 4 battleships. Compare that to the 3 battle cruisers for Relkorven. So he's desperately going to need to get these up and running. And there's another battle cruiser coming out. He really needs more build power. His teammate at this time is... Yep. Just working on some air. And building up a massive army there. So this army really wants to kind of push in. There's not much underground to stop it. It could have pushed in anyone, but so with a bit of scouting. I say with a bit of scouting, they know exactly what's there. There's nothing on the ground to stop these guys. They could have pushed in at any time and just wiped all this out. And here comes a push, and it's probably coming a bit too late. Question is, can he get in there enough? Trying to push through here would be a bad idea, because there is T1 PD under some good shielding. There's a solid commander. Just go around the back and kill off the eco. That's all you're going to do. Kill off all this eco. Kill the aircraft carriers. And never mind, it's not going to push too late. Pushed too late. And all these guys stuck up in a hill, that's not going to help either. Splitting out the forces and getting absolutely nowhere with that push. Right, speaking of pushes, yeah, that donut is done. It could now come over and take care of that. A few gunships are on the way. They're going to do good. Hey, Rise Fox, Happy New Year to yourself as well. I hope you had some good holidays. But this push is way too late. Far too late. We also have a bunch of restorers going on up here. Oh dear. Not looking too great. Oh yes. Synchronized. It's just pop out at exactly the same time. Away they go. Of course. Still no air, says Nizox. And well, you know, kind of right. This is the air production for Poop 1, 2, 3 factories. And we compare that to the air production for Lamadan, and there are just so many more. Would have been a much different story had Lamadan died to the tele snipe. It would have been a big assistance as well, but unfortunately couldn't quite finish that off. And he still remains the dominant air power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still the 8 factories, but heavy assistance on this one. And you can see the difference it makes. Many more factories. Okay, down here we have... Well, the push has made some ground. But honestly, it needed to come in quicker and faster. These units coming in drifts and drabs. I think maybe he tried to formation move them in, but in the end, they simply just didn't get enough done for what was going on. Oh dear. Restorers, how many of those you got? They are on the move. We have 24 restorers though, some of them are still back here. And engineer drops ready to go for more reclaim. Have they been spotted is the question? Well, the answer is yes. They've been scouted, they've been spotted, and Relkorven has some of his own ASFs. So we shall probably see those take off in a moment and look to intercept. There we go. And we're going to see some very painful. Plenty of torpedo bombers as well. They are going to be concerned about this Navy camping off the starboard bow. And hello. Should not be surprised. Engineers popping out of factories. It's going to be a ground assault coming soon as well. Right, restorers charge on in and die. Too much anti-air on the ground and too much anti-air in the air. Those guys get. And here we go. Huzzah. This is what should have been done in the first place. T2 on the ground. Yellow, your comm is in danger. Yellow, your comm is in danger. What on earth is he doing there? Oh no, this is not good. Now the battleship opens up and he needs to dodge those battleship fire. What was his commander doing all the way out there? Turn, dodge, get out of the way. Twist and turn. If he can avoid though, that he'll be fine. He just needs to twist and turn, not walk in a straight line, not take. Oh dear. Twist and turn, mate. Twist and turn. Don't walk in a straight line. There, oh dear. That is poop. And what was he doing with his comm in the water? Down here. That's... I don't even know. No supporting units. Nothing. Just had his comm splashing in the water. Very, very strange decision, but this now leaves Rail Corvin. I mean, he's doing it right for himself. He has got the reclaim going on now. He's got a reasonably sized navy, but he's got Donut coming on and starting working on Novaks. That could be... You can pick your targets here, you can kill off some of the navy sitting there. Speaking of navy, the battleships are having a good old grand old time killing off anything up this way. Yoink. They're not terribly accurate, are they? 1, 2, 3 from the single salvo. Oh, there we go, 3 connected there. That's much better looking. Much more damage. Alright, units are starting. Spam is ready to go. Who's that donut? There it is. Trying to be sneaky, trying to come around the back, but is being supported by a massive air wing from the Madden, and it's not going to go very well. Okay, the Navy is moving in, and so are the torpedo bombers. They're going to rock on through and look at taking out some of the battleships, I presume, but a lot of those torpedoes are just simply going to impact on the mobile shields and get not a lot done. Maybe they wanted to focus down on one of the battleships and potentially get those out of the way, but I don't think you're going to manage it. More torpedoes going out, so some more damage going on in, but I think they're actually targeting this one, but this one's getting in the way, actually physically blocking the torps. Not a great time. There is another battleship down here. It's getting horribly overwhelmed though. Lots of destroyers. These battleships of course are in residence as well. Battle cruisers behind the scenes trying to tidy up some of the destroyers, and yep, Rail was making a fight of it. At least he's not giving up. He's sticking with it. He's having a go, and he's just about finished the Novaks, but everywhere else is looking like a tragedy. Battle cruisers are doing their best, and they're just popping frigates left, right, and centre. But frigates aren't the problem really. It is the destroyers, and these battleships are about to get munched by a superior number over here. All the torpedo bombers are gone. Speaking of torpedo bombers, now something coming in from McNeil, and just to be extra annoying. Those battle cruisers are getting work done though. 20 kills between them. They're lining things out, and what did they attack? I don't know what they attacked. Battle cruiser having a conniption, doesn't know what to do with itself. It's going to get stuck, it's going to get killed as soon as some more shots land. It's going to be about time. Right, the satellite is done. The question is, what can he do with it? Oh, he could think of some navy, but here comes the donut. Donut is on its own, and coming in, the air wing is over here from the Madden, and in comes the air from Rail Corvin. Question is, can they do enough damage to the donut in time? Can they kill it before the air turns up from the Madden? If they do, this can be a huge help. And the answer is no. Donut still has 8,000 health, and now the air wing from the Madden swings on in. It is going to absolutely clean up anything that Corvin has in the air. He should have just committed, left his air killing that off, because well, he's got none anyway. A little bit, and he's managed to hold the navy for now down to 3 battleships. Still has 1. Never mind, it's dead. There is a battle cruiser having to go over here. There were some normal cruisers throwing their shells out. Attack missiles lobbing in, of course. The Omens do have that tricky, annoying Aeon TMD, but it can't fire quite often enough to stop all the missiles coming in. Indeed. Gradual damage down on them. Where has that satellite gone? Somewhere. Oh, there it is. And it's having a go at, well, Not going to get through those shields very quickly. Is trying to knock off McNeil, but he's got a shield to come anyway, so dramas here. Ground assault coming on in, and that's just more than Royal Corps can handle right now. He's throwing down some triads, that'll be fine. That will stop this T1 swarm quite easily. But T3 could be a different story. Having said that, battleships are still in force. 4 of them still alive, they're having to go. Cruisers back here are doing their best, and we have a T3 HQ trying to build another battle cruiser just about off the production line. Maybe? No, 46%, I take that back. But the cruisers are having an effect, enough missiles to get past the Aeon TMD. Look at the missiles impact on this guy, he's just taking a battering. There's a 2-star battleship, extra health, extra regen, but when those TAC missiles lands, they just impacting right into the side of it. Crunch. Fire in the background, looping over. And the aircraft carrier is just sitting there in reserve for the moment. Look at the amount of T1 on the grounds. Look at the SAMs just getting smashed down. And holy heck, that's a lot of restorers. So keen to go again by the look of it. Ravelcon, credit to this guy, he is fighting to the last. He is not stopping, he's not giving up. He is carrying on. I do wonder how much of a different story it might have been, as some of them have lamented in the chat, if they had had a better air player, then Poop perhaps could have been a different story, but right now these battleships are very much alive and they are very much killing off everything off this direction. A few cruisers trying to put up a poultry defense against them ain't gonna get much done. Use the hiccups. Wow, where those come from? Excuse me. Alright, restorers. And what do they have to go? Ah, they're shooting at the drones? Maybe. Shooting at air. But there's a whole wad of SAM sitting back here. Those restorers move forward. They're going to have a horrible time with that. Oh dear. Layers are obliterating those restorers. They're just dropping out of the sky like flies. Still some triads trying to get work done on there. And it's a full-scale attack. In comes the ground units, in comes the donut. There are some other triads around. I can see more triad fire over here. They're having to go with that. Broadswords in the area as well. They're having to tangle those guys down. But in comes the Tsar. And down goes the Tsar. Pancake. Pancake on Royal Corps. He's got 2,000 health left. Although battleships firing on him, not for long. There we go. And that is Royal Corps out of the game. Fought to the very bitter end. Hey look, Novak survived. That's hilarious. This building's there. But there we go, folks. Welcome back. The new year is here. We are back, we're casting, and we start out with a bang.